Tokyo hosted the 1964 Summer Olympics by participation of 93 nations having 5,151 athletes, including 678 women. The Games were opened by Emperor Hirohito on 10 October 1964. The Olympic torch was carried by Yoshinori Sakai, who was born in Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, the day the atomic bomb was dropped on that city. More than 30 years after the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, Japan issued a stamp showing him holding the torch. This stamp is shown here from my collection. It was the first time that the Olympic Games were held in Asia. They were documented in the 1965 award-winning film Tokyo Olympiad, directed by Kon Ichikawa. The Ethiopian Abibi Bikila, who worked back home as a gardener in the palace of Emperor Haile Selassie, became the first person to win the Olympic marathon twice. 16 nations made their first Olympic appearance in Tokyo, and many of them issued stamps to celebrate these games. The largest number of the 1964 Olympic Games stamps were issued by Japan itself. Between 1961 and 1964, Japan issued 6 sets of 1964 Olympics souvenir sheets. The first 5 sheets have 3 stamps each, and the 6th sheet has 4 stamps, with all of the stamps being of different sports. Shown here are 2 stamps from my collection. One stamp is from sheet number 5 and one from sheet number 6, issued in 1963 and 1964 respectively. They show an equestrian event and weightlifting. A further miniature sheet containing 5 stamps was also issued by Japan in 1964. 2 of these stamps are shown here from my Japan stamp album. They are a 10 yen gold, red, black, and deep sepia showing the main stadium, and a 30 yen gold, red, black, and bright blue showing the fencing hall. Bulgaria issued 6 square stamps of different sports from the 1964 Olympics. One of these stamps is shown here from my collection. It is a 1 stotinki green and red stamp of a male gymnast. The Kingdom of Burundi issued a set of 10 stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. One of these stamps is shown here from my Burundi album. It is a 20-franc stamp showing men gymnastics. The Democratic Republic of Congo, which was participating in the Olympic Games for the first time here in Tokyo, issued 2 sets of stamps commemorating the 1964 Olympic Games. One set had 4 stamps and the other 6. 5 stamps out of the second set are shown here from my collection. They are 5, 8, 10, 20, and 100 francs showing different Olympic sports. Ecuador issued 4 stamps celebrating the 1964 Olympics. One stamp is shown here from my Ecuador stamp album. It is a 1 sucre and 80 centavos stamp of a hurdler. Hungary issued a souvenir sheet with 1 stamp and a set of 10 other stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Shown here are 5 stamps of the 10 stamp set from my collection, ranging from 30 fillers to 1 forint. They are split into 2 images for better presentation. Later, Hungary issued a 12-stamp set of the different sports where medals were won in Tokyo in 1964. Two stamps from my collection are shown here. The first one is a 20-filler stamp in the modern pentathlon, with one gold medal and one bronze medal won by Ferenc Torok. The other stamp is a 30-filler in women gymnastics, with silver for Katalin Makray in uneven bars and bronze for Aniko Dukza in floor exercises. Jordan issued a number of stamps and souvenir sheets for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. Shown here from my collection is a single triangular one-fils brown stamp of the Olympic flame and rings, with an added white silhouette of a Japanese pagoda in the background. From another set of 6 Jordanian stamps, I am showing a 15-fils purple stamp, also of the Olympic flame and rings, and again with an added white silhouette of a Japanese pagoda in the background. Lebanon issued 6 stamps to commemorate the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. 2 stamps from my Lebanon album are shown here, one for 2.5 piasters for swimming and the other for 7.5 piasters for fencing. Libya attended the Olympics for the first time in Tokyo, with only one participant for the marathon. For a reason unknown to me, he did not compete. All the same, Libya issued a set of 6 stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, 2 of which are shown here from my collection. One is a 5 mil stamp of a footballer, and the other is a 30 mil stamp of a sprinter. The Maldives issued 8 stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, all showing the Olympic rings, with 3 stamps showing a shot putter and the other 5 a running athlete. Shown here from my Maldives album are the 3 stamps of the shot putter for 2, 3, and 5 laris. In the currency of the Maldives, there are 100 laris in a rufiya, and currently $1 is equal approximately to 12 rufiyas. Monaco issued 4 diamond-shaped stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. Shown here are 3 of these stamps from my Monaco Stamps album. They are a 1 centime for weightlifting, a 2 centime for judo, and a 3 centime stamp for pole vault. Morocco issued 3 stamps commemorating the 1964 Olympic Games in Tokyo, all showing a hand holding a torch under the sun and the Olympic rings. 1 stamp from my Morocco album is shown here for 20 centimes. Poland issued 8 stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. 3 were diamond-shaped, 3 square, and 2 vertical, all showing various sports. From my Poland stamp album, you can see here 2 of the square stamps. One is 90 groszy, showing relay runners, and the other is 1 zloty, showing boxing. Romania issued 8 diamond-shaped stamps for the 1964 Olympic Games. 3 of them are shown here from my collection for 20, 30, and 40 bani for the sports of high jump, wrestling, and rowing, respectively. Rwanda issued a set made up of 4 vertical stamps and 4 horizontal stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. Shown here are 3 stamps of the horizontal type from my collection, 2 for 10 and 30 cents and the third for 20 francs for the sports of sprinting and high jump. Spain issued 4 stamps for the 1964 Summer Olympics, of which one is shown here from my Spanish album. It is a 25 centimos stamp of a shot putter. The Soviet Union issued 6 stamps to commemorate the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. One of these stamps is shown here from my USSR collection. It is a 4-kopek yellow, red and black stamp of the sport of weightlifting. Although the United Arab Republic was dissolved in 1961, Egypt continued using this term until 1971. So when Egypt issued 4 stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, they were still labeled as the United Arab Republic. Of these 4, 2 stamps are shown here from my collection. They are 5 and 10 millimes respectively. The Yemen Arab Republic, which was established as a result of a revolt in 1962 against the Mutawakkilite Kingdom of Yemen, issued 9 different stamps for the 1964 Tokyo Olympics. In addition to these 9 stamps, and despite the revolt, stamps continued to be issued in the name of the Mutawakkilite Kingdom of Yemen for a further number of years. Hence, there are 3 other 1964 Olympic Games stamps issued in the name of the Mutawakkilite Kingdom of Yemen, which are shown here from my Yemen albums. They are a 1/8, a 1/4, and a 1/2 baksha stamps showing the sports of football, running, and discus throwing respectively.